All right. Okay. Welcome to all my Year 5 students of St. John's International Primary School. Okay, now this is your first virtual clinic for the year 2022. As you can see, the topic that I've chosen to actually revise with all of you is pollinations, fruits, and seeds. Okay, class, I understand that some of you have joined the semester pretty late because once I've already started this topic earlier this year, only some of you joined after this topic. So this is me taking the initiative to actually make sure that you follow along and not left behind. Okay, if you're wondering, this is from your textbook, page 9 onwards. You can find it in your Cambridge Primary Science Learners Book 5 from page 9 onwards. Okay, class. Okay, that's the reason why I highlight this during the virtual clinic. Wink, wink, it might or might not come out in your examination. So now let's begin. Are you all ready? Okay, before we begin, I would like to ask for all of you to actually please prepare yourself a piece of paper, or better still, you can use your exercise books, write down whatever notes you want to take. Okay, I give you 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute, go and get yourself ready. Okay. Okay, now, have you all prepared yourself for this topic? Okay, for this virtual clinic for today. All right, let's begin. Again, the topic that I've chosen to revise with you is pollination, fruits and seeds. You can find it in page 9 of your textbooks. Okay, let's begin. Teacher, what will I learn in this topic for today? Okay, class. At the end of today's lesson, you will be able to learn what is pollination. I know most of you already know what is pollination, but this is me revising with you. Okay, number two, you'll be able to learn what are the ways of how pollen is moved or how pollen travel. Okay, I know you can list down, this was part of my test knowledge. I'm so glad that you remember. Okay, number three. Why must plants be pollinated, teacher? Okay, don't worry. By the end of today's lesson, I'm so sure all of you will become pros and you'll be able to tell me without even referring to your textbooks or even your workbooks. Okay, now, are you ready? Okay, let's begin. Okay, what is pollination, teacher? All right, pollination is actually the movement of the pollen from the stamen to the stigma of the same kind of flower by insects or wind. Okay, I want you to close your eyes right now and try to remember. I've asked you this to remember yourself every class. I think almost every class I'll be like, what's pollination? Okay, close your eyes right now. Tell me. Pollination is the movement of from the to the of the same kind of flower by or okay, very good. I want you to remember the keywords, which is pollen. Then I want you to remember stamen to the stigma by insects or wind. Okay, good. For those who got all correct, I am so proud of you. Okay, now, shall we? Okay, you have already mastered the first subtopic, which is what is pollination? All right. Okay, you can pause this video if you want to repeat it again, or you can just proceed along together with me. Okay, class, shall we? Okay, the next subtopic would be ways how pollen travels or move. Okay, there are two ways. Remember or not in the definition just now? Okay, pollination is the movement of pollen from the stamen to the stigma of the same kind of flower by insects or wind. Okay, class. So basically, there are two ways, which is by insects and by wind. Okay, as you can see in the pictures here, by insects, obviously, there would be like honeybees or butterflies. Okay, honeybees or butterfly. This class is an example of a moth. Okay, for those who don't know, a moth is very similar to how a butterfly look like, but it's the different species, all right? So insects actually carry pollen when they travel. Like, teacher, why are they carry pollen? Okay, don't worry. We will go into that very, very like detailed, okay? All right, number two. What is the second way of how pollen travel is that by wind? Okay, class, I'm so sure some of you have seen a dandelion before, right? Okay, a dandelion, you know, right? Dandelion are so light that a little bit, if you blow, that it will actually go like this, which is so cool. Same as other plants, okay? This is all the other plants, all right? So there are two ways to remember, by insects and by wind. Very good. Okay, what I want to highlight in this class is actually how plants are adapted to a certain type of way how they travel for pollen. All right, let me talk about it. You'll be like, teacher, what do you mean, like, teacher? Okay, don't worry, don't worry. Okay, we'll talk about it. All right. Okay, number one, by insects. Okay, class. Okay, get ready, huh? Okay. Flowers that are adapted to attract insect pollinators should be colorful, should have big petals, should have scent, should produce nectar, and have marks on their petal. Again, they should be colorful, they should have big petals, they should have scent, they produce nectar and have marks on their petals. Okay, you know what am I going to do? I'm going to go back to the previous slide. I want you to tell me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways how flowers are adapted to attract insect pollinators. Okay, let me go back to the previous slide. Okay, let me put a 2-minute timer. Okay, wait. Good for your 2-minute timer. Okay, I'll start now. Right, tell me now what are the 5 ways of how flowers are adapted to attract insect pollinators? Go. Okay, your time is up. Let's check whether you get correct or not. Okay, the 5 ways would be make sure the answer colorful. Who got that correct? Very good. Have big petals, have sand, produce nectar, and have marks on their petals. Okay, who got all correct? Wow, I'm so proud of you. Very good. Okay, let's go one by one, okay? You'll be like, teacher, why are these 5 adaptation? Okay, don't worry, we'll talk about it, okay? All right, so for the first one, colorful. What does it mean to be colorful? Okay, colorful is actually bright colors. Okay, for example, like I've mentioned this in class before, insects, they are more attracted to the color white compared to the color red because white in their eyes are more brighter than the color red. Although to us, the color red and white are equally bright, but then to insects, they are more attracted to the color white and yellow. So that is why I put a picture here. Okay, this color attracts insect a lot. And like this one also is very attractive. As long as it's attractive, they are very, very drawn to it. Okay, okay. Someone for sure will be asking, teacher, why must actually be attractive for the insects? Okay, now class. Okay, why must it attract insects? Is that insects will help pollinate to carry the pollen everywhere. That is why they need to attract the insects to come to them so that they can carry all this pollen to another flower of the same kind. Right? Is that clear? Okay, good. All right, now. So always remember, insects are more attracted to the color white, yellow. They're also attracted to flowers that have brightly colored. Okay? Okay, good. Let's continue. The second adaptation would be big petals. Okay, teacher, what is petals? Okay, by now you should know what is petals. So petals is actually part of the flower, which is like this, the ones I'm like circling right now. Okay. In order to attract insect pollinators, the flowers must have big, big petals because they will actually stand out. Imagine if the petals are small and they like camouflage in with the grass and the leaf, would it actually stand out? Of course not. It wouldn't stand out. And that is why big petals are very, very important to actually attract insect pollinators. Okay, we are done with colorful. We are done with big petals. Shall we proceed next? Okay, let's go. Have scent. Teacher, what is scent? Okay, let me ask you back. I give you 1 minute. Go and think about it. What is scent? Okay, all right. Those who've answered scent, teacher, is a smell. Yes, very good. Specifically, a scent is actually a good smell. In order to attract insects, they would need scent. You'll be wondering, teacher, can insects smell, man? Do they have nose? Okay, good question. Insects do not have nose, but they have receptors that can catch any smell that is attractive to them. All right, for example, in this picture, I've put in jasmine flowers class. Do you know what is a jasmine flower? Good. Okay, for those who know what is jasmine flower, you know they smell amazing. So they also attract insects. Okay. All right. Is that clear? Okay. Let's continue. They produce nectar. Okay, I've told this so many times in class. Okay, I give you 1 minute. Think, what is nectar? It's actually two words. Think about it. I give you 1 minute. Okay, time is up. Okay, the two words are sweet liquid. Okay, who got that correct? Wow, so many of you got correct. Okay, let me write down. Okay, so sorry, my handwriting is so bad. Okay, the answer is sweet liquid. A sweet liquid is another word for nectar. Okay, class, remember not in class, I've already mentioned, remember whoever have tried this plant, if you pull out the middle part, the nectar will come out, right? So the middle part is actually the nectar, which if you guys have tasted it before, it's actually really sweet and so nice actually. Yeah, so good, right? So yeah, even in the nature, we have sugary drinks, which is quite cool actually if you think about it, right? All right, okay, let's continue with our last adaptation for insects. Have marks on their petal. Teacher, why must they have marks, huh? What do you think? Why must they have marks? This is in your textbook. I've already mentioned this in class. Okay, I give you 1 minute. Think about it. Okay, time is up. Okay, for those who answer, teacher, the marks is actually to guide the insects to the middle so that they can get the nectar is correct. Okay, imagine this is a flower. All right, my drawing is really bad, but it's okay. This is just an illustration, okay? Okay, let me draw one more better because it look weird. Okay, imagine if you have all these marks, right? Okay, it actually shows that the nectar is always in the middle because for insects they know the nectars are in the middle, but they don't know where is the middle. So when they have these marks, they will indicate that the nectar is right in the middle, so it's easier for them to actually just come, okay, I just want to take the nectar and go. So that is why it attracts insects. Okay, is that clear, my children? Okay, good. All right, that is all the adaptation for flowers that adapted to attract insect pollinators. Okay, class, what is the second way of how pollen travels? Give me. One is by insect and the second one would be? Okay, good. The answer is by wind. Are you ready to learn that? If you're not, you can pause this video and go back and re-watch the video. Okay, for those who are ready, let's continue. Okay, the second one would be by wind. Okay, remember? By wind. Okay, class, remember or not that one thing I told you, whatever need to be dispersed or pollinated by wind must always be light. Very good. It must always be light-weighted because imagine if it's heavy, would it actually be carried away by the wind? No, very good. Okay, Flowers that are pollinated by wind have small petals. They have not brightly colored. Then they do not have scent. They do not have nectar, and they are light because so that they are easily blown away. Okay, class, think about it. This is all the opposite of by animals. Okay, I want you to, I'll set a timer for 2 minutes. Okay, I'll set a timer for 2 minutes. Look at all these adaptations, which is small petals, not brightly colored, do not have a scent, do not have a nectar, and light. There are 5 adaptations. Okay, I want you to close your eyes and tell me all 5 of them. Can you? Wait, let me change back to the previous slide. Actually, okay, let me put the timer. I already, let's go. Okay, your time is up. All right, let's check. Okay, so the 5 adaptations would be must have small petals, not brightly colored, do not have a scent, do not have nectar, and are light so that they're easily blown away. Okay, did everyone got that correct? Can I have students who got correct raise your hand? Okay, so proud of all my students here. Okay, all right, let's dissect it one by one. Let's try to understand each of it. All right. Okay, by wind. All right. Flowers that are pollinated by wind must have small petals. Okay, in this picture, I've attached all the flowers that have small petals. These are the example of flowers that have small petals, okay? So they must have tiny petals because they are the opposite of how bianimal pollen travels. Okay, I think this is easy, right? Right, shall we proceed? Okay, good. Not brightly colored. Class, remember now earlier I told you the insects can only see if they are white and yellow. So opposite of it would be like colors like blue, gray, maybe even like red, dark red, you know. So like that kind of colors are not brightly colored. So that is why they actually were actually the pollinated by wind. Okay, this is quite easy too, right? Because it's easy because I've already mentioned it earlier, right? Okay, class, shall we? Okay. Do not have a scent. Okay. This one, I did not attach a picture because I believe everyone here understand what's the meaning of scent, right? A good smell. Very good. Okay, so do not have a scent is clearly indicating that the plants do not have any scent, do not have any good smell. Some flowers, they actually don't smell anything. That is what I mean. Okay. All right. Adaptation number 4. Don't have nectar. Okay, earlier I put a picture about a flower that is the red one that you pull inside. I got nectar, right? Okay, so that is the one example. There's a nectar, but many plants do not have nectar. So that is what I do not attach any pictures. Okay. All right. Last but not least, they are light and easily blown away. Class. Okay. Remember or not, earlier this topic I said like some of you might have seen a dandelion and have seen how cool it goes. Like always remember the number one thing that I want to highlight here is that anything that disperse or pollinate by wind must always be light, because think about it. If they are not light, would they be able to disperse or carried away by the wind? The answer is no. Okay, so always remember that. Is that okay, class? Okay, if you want to take a break or you just want to like rewatch the video, you can pause and rewatch it again, or you can just pause and take a break first. Okay, so now class, you've already mastered two things, which is what is pollination and also ways how pollen travel or move. Okay, are you ready to learn the last subtopic? Okay, let's go. Okay, class. Okay, the last subtopic would be why must flowers be pollinated, teacher? Why must flowers be pollinated? Okay, good question. Okay, class. The answer is rather simple. Think about it this way. If flowers don't get pollinated, they won't have new seeds and they won't have new plants. So in a way, they won't be able to reproduce. Okay. Flowers need to be pollinated so they can reproduce and have new seeds to produce new plants. Okay, let's recap. Okay, class, tell me the life cycle. Okay, seeds will form into new plants. Very good. New plants will have flowers. Very good. Okay, flowers will then form fruits. Okay, and then fruits will eventually have seeds. Okay, very good. That is the correct life cycle. Those who got all correct, congratulations. You are very advanced and I'm so proud of you. So now the question, the big question remains. But okay, this is your test knowledge. I'll give you 2 minutes. Okay, the question is, but how do plants make new seeds? Think about it. How do plants make new seeds? Okay, I will put a timer right now. I will put a timer right now. Wait, let me clear screen. And then, okay, this was the question. Wait, let me show you the question again. But how do plants make new seeds? Okay, so let me set the timer again for 2 minutes. Go. Okay, your time is up. Okay, let's check your answers, right? If you don't have enough of time, you can actually pause this video and continue at your own time, okay? Okay, the answer is plants make seeds in a process called fertilization. Okay, class, this was in your test of knowledge. Fertilization is when pollen and eggs join to make seeds. Okay, that directly answers the question of how do plants make new seeds. Is that clear? Okay, maybe it might not seem clear right now. Trust me, when you do your own revision, it might be clearer. Okay, class, you've already mastered three things. What is pollination? Ways of how pollen spreads or pollen travels or pollen move. And even last but not least, you're able to tell me why pollination need to happen, correct or not? Okay, very good. You've already grasped all the knowledge that I wanted you to grasp. So that is the end of today's session. I want to make sure all my students are all ahead of the textbook and advanced. If you have any question, please email me at yvonne@sgis.edu.my. Feel free to email me. Okay, I'll answer you for sure. Okay, class. So I want to take this opportunity to wish all my students who are celebrating Chinese New Year a beautiful Gong Xi Fa Chai, and to my students who do not celebrate Chinese New Year, happy holidays. You guys truly deserve the break in your semester. You guys did amazing. I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to see all of you soon, right after the holiday. Okay, one more thing before I go. There's a reason why I highlight this topic here during a virtual clinic is because, wink, wink, it might or might not come out in your examination. So yeah, focus, okay? All right, until then, bye students.